right, well, welcome. Come on into the Culinary Center, Miller and Associates Culinary Center. Would you care for a drink? Maybe coffee or water? No beer or anything? Okay, don't worry about it. Come on in. So for those who have not been here before, this is our Culinary Center. It started off as our office. We actually moved in, I think, December of 2014. So January of 2015, I think, is what we consider our starting point. But this side of the office used to actually be our inside sales office. So come on in. You can kind of see now we have it as a showroom style, but there are cubes. And so Tucker, our camera guy, say hi, Tucker. Nailed it. TV magic, isn't it? Tucker used to actually have that cubicle over there. But as we walk in, you guys can see the whole idea behind this, right? And we're going to get to the kitchen side here in a bit. But the whole idea behind this is that we have a showroom side that we can show pieces off when customers come in. But really, all of these are plug and play. And the UDS we have on the other side by Avtech, the Utility Distribution System. Impressive, I know. The UDS on the other side is made for plug and play, right? So we have gas lines, we have water lines, we have electrical, and it's to where we can move something out and move something in to where anybody that needs to test anything, even if it's not ours, we do that. So I see Jeff walking in from the outside. So over here we have UD, right? This is our UD base for now. So we have a Intex Steamer with a produce soap and silver soap. You'll see smatterings of everything kind of throughout as we go. We have two Alto Shams because, man, we got a lot of Alto Sham stuff. If anybody wants any used Alto Sham, these are lightly used. Well, maybe not that smoker in the back. That was a Friday smoker. So we have from the combis to the full-size Vector to we even have a little two-chamber Vector over here to cook and holds and smokers and whatnot. Over here, you'll see a beautiful Crown Verity grill. But behind it, kind of hidden away, are pieces that aren't ours, right? They're actually, it's a Lincoln conveyor oven. There's a Mary Chef oven, some Vendo cases. That's here because we have chains that are testing things. And even if it's not ours, we want you guys to be able to use the kitchen. So Jeff has said from the very beginning, I have parroted and echoed as much as I can. We want the people to be in here, right? Ideally, I don't know if I would like this as much or my wife especially, but every day we'd have somebody in and every day I'd be mopping and cleaning afterwards, ideally. And then maybe if that did happen, we'd have some folks come in to help me clean a little bit, but we want people in. It's offered up to the industry. So if it's something like coming in and testing through a chain, or if it's just having a place for an offsite meeting, we'll see the other side where it is really nice. So over here, we have some Arctic Air, which we saw last week. We have some Nemco pieces as well, both the countertop oven, the Global Solutions, and then the fun microwave panini. Okay, you guys want to see something special? Come on. It's Chris's desk. Ooh, look at Chris's desk. Ooh. It's all organized, and there's literature. And wait. Here's a fun little disposer squishy. I don't know if you guys have seen those. They're fun to throw at people. I'll do more later. All right, so come on back over here. I mentioned Chris because Chris did a fantastic job of making this more of a showroom for our smallware side and or some of our smaller pieces like the Nemco pieces for cutting. So as we walk through, we have from Cecilware to Primaster Cecilware stuff to Nemco to a Legacy. I don't know if we have anything else. Yeah, so from coffee beverages, these are all live. We can make them all live, so we can have lots of espresso shots if you needed. Any of the pieces over there, the OJ machine to our pens and whatnot for a Legacy. It's really a fantastic job because none of this hanging stuff was up before. So Chris did a lot of woodwork. It was like this old house, but instead, by the way, I don't know if everyone knows this. This used to be a CC's. So this little area, that used to be the arcade at a CC's, I believe. I'm pretty certain.
Hey, Todd.
So, yes, sir.
Could I ask you a question?
Oh, go for it.
What is all that equipment over there sitting on back in that area? I thought I saw a stainless steel cabinet and some other stuff.
You are right. So let's point that out. Jeff asked, well, I think you guys could hear. They probably didn't hear. So point this out. This is an advanced Tabco custom piece, right? So there's a sink, sink. But as far as this mirrored bullnose finish, most people will see that and they're, oh, wow, that's really advanced. Yeah, that's advanced Tabco. And then also on this side, this is Walsh and Simmons. So we were talking about with Walsh and Simmons, the millwork of before, right? So you have some pieces for our Nemco food processor, right? But this is a, I think this is a fake stone. Is that right? Is it the real stone? Oh, it's real stone. And then they obviously did the millwork. So it looks really, really nice. And, you know, contact us. Let us know what we can do to help. So, and we're walking. Does anyone else want to know any more about CC's Pizza? No CC's. So come on in. We have to show you Jeff's favorite camera or favorite painting. So we have it right by the bathrooms because, you know, it's important. This is one of Jeff's friends, I believe, or pastor of his church or something along those lines. He says he loves it because this is how we treat our customers. So you come in to visit, I'm going to lick you. I don't know. So we're walking on in. So let's start off with the Bally here. This is our back of house, and I just probably put my fingerprints after we shine this all up. One thing to notice on the Bally, right, is if you haven't been in here, if you remember, we're talking about those big hinges that are put into our stainless frame, or not stainless frame, the steel frame. So it's not just a welded into, or not just a floating hinge, it's actually welded into that frame. We have two different finishes. You're not going to really be able to see it, but there's another finish over here in the corner. You kind of see through here, just to kind of show, here's some different finishes if you want. And obviously the diamond tread and whatnot of it. So as we move on, let's have you turn around and come see Champion here. So here's our Champion. This is our tall machine, the one that's meant for sheet pans. So full-size sheet pans can go in vertical in this. And while it can fit more than 4, we really are only going to suggest to do 4 at a time. But I just did a D-line on it yesterday. It's got this new screen that makes it really, really easy to do that. I believe we've talked about that in the past as well. So the other fun thing about this is this box up here is, think of it's pretty much a refrigeration that goes backwards, right? So instead of taking the heat out and putting cold in, this is actually taking the cold out for array and putting the heat in. So it's taking the steam that exhausts out of it. And this is a high temp machine, but we don't have a hood, right? And none of the panels up there are waterlogged or anything like that, right? So this is acting as our hood. And when we first got one, the 5000 series, it was maybe this much smaller. I mean, they have a pretty good size difference, whereas this new 6000 series is much smaller. I didn't want to put the door down because then it would start. That'd be loud. No one wants to hear loud, right? So that's our fun, fantastic door type. As we move, we also have a Salvador collector here. This is one of my favorite things. I'd Chris do this because if I'm not in the kitchen, people just think that's a disposer, and they're going to put a bunch of stuff down there. And what do we do? So we've talked about this, right? You know, there you go. So this is our collector, right? We kind of talked about this with Jim. If you guys remember Jim, he was one of those Tennessee systems. If you're on, Jim, hello. So that's the control for it, and this is our sensor, right? So we were talking about that we can walk away. It's going to go down to idle, and back, and it goes right back up. So as we're walking along, we have a whole bunch of things. So pretty much everything you see in this kitchen, whether it's the back of house here, whether it's in the front of house, the show kitchen, obviously on their side of the showroom, or also the furniture. Oh yeah, they're doing sign language to me. Whether it's the other side with the furniture, I got that sign language. I get that one pretty good. With the furniture, it was a finger. I'm not going to tell you which one. Everything, just about everything that you've seen here is manufacturers that we represent. So whether it's small words like the legacy pieces, whether it's the Arctic Air, that we had on the other side and over here, whether it's the shelves themselves, that's Advanced Tapco. Just about everything. The table is advanced. This is a custom stainless piece over here by Power Soak. So that cut out, gets shipped to Power Soak. They welded in for the salvador, and then they ship this out, and then the bottom collector just gets switched to the bottom. It's really pretty easy. So once again, this is a big hot tub. If you guys remember seeing it, there are videos online if you want to see it, but water is going to be flowing, tumbling like that, right? So the idea would be the dirty dishes would be here. This isn't exactly set up right, but the dirty dishes would be here. You'd be scrapping this way, right? So that's why it's two scraps. It's not just throwing like copper meat pans. The water is going to get dirty very quickly. Put it in there, let it go, right? You go do something else, maybe do washing if you're doing the other, like the door type or whatever. Come back. Because it's tumbling, you're not going to have to stick your arm all the way down to get any pans, right? Because it's tumbling, all you have to do is pretty much get about here wet. I'm still holding this out of the thing, but feel it. Wait till something hits your hand, grab it. If it looks clean, you're going to dunk it for a rinse, dunk it for a sanitize, and then you can use this as a drain board or get some shelving as a drain pan. I do want to show this. So this is something that Jeff and I actually were kind of like, at first. And this is really true for everybody, I think. But you've seen like there's the laser eye things that you're trying to find the exact right distance and you're getting frustrated. Or you've seen the foot pedals down there, right? To where those foot pedals almost always break, right? Or they're really hard to mop around and you get the mop strings caught on them. But with this knee, there's none of that you're not having to have an electrical A for the seeing eye, and then B, it works every time, and it's just much easier hand washing than having to play with paddles or pedals or the sensing eye. So one thing to point out, look, it's dry storage. If you guys need to use the kitchen, we do have a good amount of par stuff to where if you need rice, we have rice. If you need sugar, flour, things like that, we have that. But come on in and come check out our main kitchen here, our culinary center, as it were. So as you can see, I really enjoyed when we put that up there on the front. The whole idea behind this. So we have the off-check code, right, that we were talking about at the porch. So as you guys are looking there, you can't see any of the filters in the back. But that's there, and you can really only kind of see it over here. I'm going to get there behind that braising pan. That's the plug and play aspect of it, right? So we have electrical that we can do, and then down below there's gas lines, and there's also water lines. So if we need to move that quantity from here to over there, all right, we can do that. If we need to move the fryer, if we need to move the range, these pieces get moved in and out pretty often, right? So it's whatever you guys need to play with. We have the space, we have the electrical, we have the gas to be able to do that. Usually for Taste of Alto-Shaam, we do a Taste of Alto-Shaam once a month. Obviously, COVID has stopped that for the most part. We are going to be starting up again soon. I'm hoping by July, maybe. We'll see. Maybe that's when our first one's going to be. But I'm going to go ahead and invite you guys now. Come to them, bring customers. It's a free lunch at worst, right? I mean, it's an hour and a half of your day, maybe 2 hours at the very most as far as travel time and other things. But it's an hour and a half of your day. It's free lunch. And really what we're doing is we're giving you a 30,000, 40,000 foot view of Alto-Shaam. So from holding to cook and hold to combis to blast chillers, quick chillers, whatever you want to call them, to our newest guy over there, the Vector. So we love having folks in for those. We also get graded on having folks in for those. So it's nice to have. But it really shows well. I think it shows the purpose of A, what this kitchen can do, but B, it really is a free lunch that is it's somewhat informative, I'd hope, and hopefully not too boring or terrible, because it's me. This is Advanced Tapco. This is Advanced Tapco. A lot of times people are like, oh wow, they did that. Once again, it's that mirrored finish bullnose. From the prep table to our little FX drawer down here, which I love. I don't even know if we've talked about FX at all, really. I think it was mentioned last time with Art. This can be a refrigerator or freezer, but it's a refrigerated Yeti cooler, right? So When that door opens in the standard refrigeration unit, all the cold's going to be falling out the bottom, right? That's just what happens. Same thing when you open a door, the cold starts to fall, heat rises, cold falls, right? But with this, when you open that door, because this is a cooler, right, a big insulated tub, it stays within there. And you can actually have the door open for, depending on what's in there, 30 minutes or so before you're really seeing a drop in temperature at all. We have fun things if you guys haven't come in where my science area over here where I've dehydrated a lot of things. Where's my favorite one? Is it down here? There it is. Sorry, getting sidetracked. For those who've been here, what is it? Smells like chocolate. It's mushrooms. Ooh, got some stuff there. All right, so as we get to the end, I'd love to show the actual room as well. So we can get this set up as any way you want. Right now we have 10 or so chairs on the bar. We have the center table, those can be split. That center table is one of the only things in this kitchen that we do not represent. It was actually came from a Del Frisco's corporate room, or corporate meeting room, where they were just going to throw them away. And we're like, well, we'd like to take them. So I think we actually even bought them. But we can set this up on however you want. We can technically set up for a pop-up restaurant for 60 people if you really wanted to need to find a place for somebody to do a pop-up and they wanted to use it. We have our inspections and whatnot done, so we could technically do that if you wanted to. We have enough plateware and flatware for 60 people as well as the seating. We've had chains or other people use this just for off-site meeting, right? So I was talking about that off-site meeting, being able to move these tables around. We have very large TVs both above the bar, and then we got a big mama jamma back over here to Tucker's left. There we are. Look at that thing. Ooh, what is that, like a 70 something, Chris? 65. Ooh, I just like a guy. I always say it's bigger. I'm gonna let that one stew. So we wanted to kind of show off what this is, right? What we can do with this. If you guys haven't been here, I really, really love having folks in. A, it gives me a job, right? It gives me some job security, something to do. But B, I think it selfishly, it almost always ends up to the benefit of Miller and Associates, right? Whether it's a relationship thing, whether it's pieces that get moved thereafter, or rollouts or whatever it might be, it almost always works in our favor. But really, we love having people. We had a chef that is a caterer actually come in and use this on Saturday. Thursday and Friday before that, we had a chain in, an emerging new chain that's coming into play. That's why we had that pizza oven in. We like having folks in. If it's available, reach out to me. If it's available, it's yours to use. We almost never charge anything. There are some things where we have a chain that is using it pretty often and taking up a good amount of our freezer space. They are getting a small fee, but otherwise, really, it's free to use, right? I want to make sure I hit everything. So we talked about the taste of opportunity. We talked about the offsite meetings. I think I've hit everything that I wanted to talk about. Chris, I think it's time for question of the day. Is that right? Well, actually, let's ask, are there any questions? Sorry. Are there any questions or comments anyone has? You guys have just checked out, huh?
I had one.
I hear somebody. Yes, sir.
Just wondering how big this production is, what the team looks like.
I think you might have shown that video already, but there you are. He's coming on in.
Wave everybody.
It's behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's from behind the camera.
Where's the catering people that are supposed to do the food? I'm going to go to my trailer. It's ridiculous. So no questions? You want me to do Christopher Walken? Like, I was thinking about this the whole time, that it was going to be like I was envisioning remember the Saturday Night Live thing where he's kind of walking people to the apartment? Hey, welcome to my home. Sorry. All right, so I believe that brings us to the question of the day. Is that right? If there are no other questions, seriously, let us know what it is that you want to use this place for. We've had Christmas parties from a chain that probably put about 100 holes in the wall. They were using push pins. We were a little surprised about that. But the question of the day today, remember the first to email to tugtime@mailerequip.com. And what time is it? 22. The first to email to tugtime@mailerequip.com. The correct answer will win a $50 gift card. You know, manufacturers, if you want to play, you can do that too. But it's going to be hopefully to a local restaurant. So the question of the day is, what the hell am I holding? What is this? For those who might have seen this in action before or know, you can play too. That's fine. But to those that don't know, we'll tell you, I guess, on the next one, because I'm not going to tell you now, because that would just defeat the purpose, wouldn't it? What is this? And you don't have to get the exact part number, right? You don't have to get, tell me what it's used for, right? Okay? I think that brings us to our interesting fact of the day, or facts of the day, as it were. Did we get Sally? We have Sally over there too. I don't even know if we got a picture of Sally yet. There she is. Oh, so pretty. And that's actually the older version of Sally. We're going to get a updated version pretty soon here. And it's going to have a much bigger screen. That's kind of like an iPad screen. The one now is going to be almost like a small TV. It's really pretty impressive. I think we might have seen that if you're on the Chowbotics. I was getting a note. Do what, Dixie? Well, I mean, we've already had Sally discussion, right? But let's definitely tell you the comment was, tell me what Sally does. Sally, hey, Jeff, Sally can be a salad maker. It can be other things as well, right? We can do ethnic foods. We can do grain bowls. We can do oatmeal. We can do parfait kind of style things where it's 22 canisters and you can build your own customizable salad. You can have it either menued or non. Really is very impressive. And especially now that we're getting rid of salad bars, right? I mean, that's what we keep hearing. That is a perfect thing to get rid of salad bars. Yes, sir. Ooh, there's a comment. Thank you. I did it myself. It's pretty awful, isn't it? Very, very nice. All right, so fact of the day. All right, get you guys out of here. Today we're doing it on Galileo, right? I don't know why sometimes things just tickle my fancy, and this fancied my tickle, something along those lines. He was born in 1564, died in 1642. He is known as the father of modern science, the father of observational astronomy, a father of modern physics, and the father of the scientific method. He didn't invent the telescope, but did drastically improve it in sanding his own lenses and whatnot. He was the first to see the craters on the moon, the sunspots on the sun, and phases of Venus. He was also the first to see the rings of Saturn, which perplexed him because he couldn't quite figure out what they were, because sometimes they'd represent, but if they were even with him as far as where Saturn is and where we are, he couldn't really see them anymore. So he made note of them and kind of described them. Didn't exactly get it right, but he was pretty close. He did discover them, and he also discovered 4 of Jupiter's largest moons. So did discover / invent / describe the properties of pendulums, hydrostatic balances, thermoscopes. That's actually a fun one. Have you guys ever seen the Galileo thermometer, where it's a bulb of water and there's different density liquids that will float or sink depending on what temperature it is, and that tells you what the temperature of the room is pretty closely. I mean, I think they can get it exact if you really wanted, but for the most part, you see about 6 or 7 of them, and it's within a couple of degrees, so that's pretty neat. If you guys haven't ever seen it, it's a good gift. Father's Day is coming up, right? Just put it on the desk. It looks nice. It's different colors. Quite cool.
Right. So, and multiple compasses.
He is probably perhaps most known for his heliocentric
Theories and Copernicanism theory, but that's the same idea. Back then, the church accepted theory was the
geocentric, as in the Earth was the center. Oh, that the Earth was the center of the universe, or our universe, as it were.
But
He obviously was championing that the sun
was the center, right? During the Roman Inquisition of 1615, they concluded that heliocentrism was, quote unquote, heliocent absurd in philosophy
and heretical.
Since it explicitly contradicts the sense of the Holy Scripture. In some of his later publications, he appeared to attack Pope Urban VIII.
Roman numerals is hard to read sometimes. Which he was for which he was alienated from the church. He was tried and found, quote, vehemently, words hard sometimes, suspect of heresy and forced to recant his beliefs. Unlike popular thought, I even had this thought. I thought he was actually put to death for his heresy. He was not. He was not executed. He was placed under house arrest. And that was really for the remainder of his life. So that was 1633 to 19. That'd be really impressive. 1642. So that's about 9 years or so. Yeah, for today, hopefully you guys found it interesting. I do. I guess that's all that really matters, right? So I am finished. I hope you guys are. I hope that it was as good for you as we said it would be. Right? Thank you again. We'll see you hopefully on Thursday at 2 o'clock. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.